Anyway, the producer on his first day back on the pod, showing some first day jitters. That's all right. I'm your host, Will Spain, former longstopper for the Troy Trojans, Austin Governors, Partial Houston Cougars. Joined by my side, immediately to my right, is former offensive lineman for the Hendricks College Warriors, current man of electricity, Luke the Nuke Wallman. And at the end of the table, leaning out of view now, leaning back in view, the producer, Michael Spain, local frat boy at Mississippi State. This is For Serving Sports. This is episode 64. Today is actually May 27th in the Big 26. I have yet to get a date right. The agenda. We have a new opening segment. Cooler Bull. The boys are going to give a hot take. The other two are either going to agree and give their take on why they agree or disagree and debate the take. So either cool or bull, fill in the blank. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, MLB power rankings, along with the MLB duties. NCAA baseball tournaments here. We give our full picks and preview on that individually. Chaser obviously not with us today, but his picks are in as well for the NCAA softball Women's College World Series. Swiss Army 5, top 5 movie franchises. That should be an interesting, fun debate or topic to talk about. The producer, he's in town, so we add segments. We have Guest of the Year for Major Sports Edition, and then Best of the Weekend. This could be a very fun episode. I'm very excited about it. We're about to drop the puck in the Bell Center in Montreal for Game 4, Carolina and Montreal. Let's get right into it so I can go watch some hockey. Cool or bull? Look, cool guy with the thumbs up or the bullshit. Pixel art. Yeah, that's pretty great. Here is my take. If the Bruce would just click on the slide. The Tampa Bay Rays will win the AL East, and I will tell you why. One, the Yankees suck. We have determined that their bullpen is a shell of the Cardinals' bullpen, and that is saying a lot. It is more favored for the Yankees to win the first 7 innings of their game than to win the game overall. Let's also talk about the Rays. They are the perfectly built Moneyball team. Pitching is incredible. You've got dudes like Nick Martinez, who started the year 4-1 with a 1.51 ERA. You got Shane McClanahan, 5-2 with a 2.52. Drew Rasmussen, 2.78 ERA, 4-1. I mean, even Ian Seymour, 3-0. They just picked up Craig Kimbrell. And then that's not even talking about the hitting. The heart of this lineup is really what gets me excited. Junior Caminero, dude, 262 average with 13 home runs. Yandy Diaz is hitting 311. Johnny DeLuca's hitting 269. Jonathan Arand is hitting 282. This is, I think, one of the best 4 hitters, like hitting groups in the MLB, combined with the starting rotation, combined with the bullpen, which has been solid all year. I think the Tampa Bay Rays are poised to win the AL East. Cool or bull? Luke, then Michael.
I'm going to say bull only because I do think the Yankees at the trade deadline will be more aggressive. I still think it'll be a tight race, and I just think they're willing to spend more rather than the Rays. I do think it'll be a tight race. I just think in the end, they'll just be willing to spend more, get more players, shore up that bullpen, and be able to try and take the East.
Mikey.
I'm also going to call bull just because the Yankees just got Garrett Cole back, and they're only 2.5 games behind. Also, if you check the score of the Rays game right now, they are losing 8-0 to the Orioles.
Probably we're about to get swept by the Orioles, and we're still
it's baseball though, man.
2 games in hand on the Yankees.
Baseball.
I mean, we're what, like 40, 50 games into the season. Long way to go, and I think that I just trust the Yankees more in the long run.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay. Luke.
I just want to say also, like, my takes are like this is like, mine is nothing near this at all. It's fine.
Well, the Mariners need to fire their manager. Now, they are below 500. This whole division is below 500 now. They've had Donovan get hurt. He's been out for a few weeks. You've had Julio kind of had some stints where he has not played for a few days. But this division is so bad. And the Mariners had World Series aspirations coming into the season. Also, there is a huge issue inside of the clubhouse. So what the Mariners are doing, they have a 6-man rotation, but they're only using a 5-man rotation. So they're putting the starter out like on that kind of like whatever day it falls to where both guys, I don't know how they work it, but whenever they're going to have two starters pitch that day, they'll throw the first starter for 4 innings, bench him, and have the second starter come out, and he will throw the remainder of the game. This has caused a bunch of rage within this Mariners bullpen. I mean, you had Luis Castillo, who has struggled mightily all year. You go 4 hitless or 4 1-hit ball, no runs, was striking out a bunch of people, and they pulled him. They had a whole minute compilation of him just throwing shit in the dugout and absolutely losing his crap. I mean, you have Cal Raleigh, who's literally hitting 160 or some crap. I mean, the other pitcher who came out of the bullpen said he got told that he was coming out of the bullpen a day before, and he's not used to coming out of the bullpen. He's used to starting. There's a bunch of discourse in this Mariners kind of clubhouse, and I don't know if I think this is more of a managerial problem. They should be way better than what their record actually is. So that is my take.
I'm gonna go Bull on this take. One, the Mariners are leading the division, no matter how crap it is. They are in first. This is also Dan Wilson in his first stint as a manager with the, in total with the MLB, let alone the Seattle Mariners. Started in 2024, was able to finish second in the AL West with a weaker Mariners team, but took this team to the ALCS just last year, who just ran into a red-hot Blue Jays team, and we thought this Mariners team was World Series bound. I think we got to give – look, as someone who's played sports at a higher level, as of you, winning brings upon less problems, and losing brings those problems to the forefront. It's just not going well for them. You can't blame the manager for Cal Raleigh hitting under 200.
That's true.
It's when your star players aren't producing to the way you need them to produce, it is tough to blame that on the manager. Yes, I have heard about the internal issues, especially with the pitching rotation. Yeah. That may need to get figured out, either whether that's him or his pitching coach. Maybe there needs to be a change in the pitching, staff department. However, I think it's just way too early in the season to jump the gun and say they need to fire their manager, especially for a team that's sitting first in their division. What do you think, Mikey?
You know what? I'm really going to agree with Luke on this, just because I'm pulling up their roster right now. I'm not really too into the Mariners, but they really do have a loaded roster. And I do remember when they traded for Brendan Donovan, that was a very obvious win now move. And even though they're first, they are not winning, which is
they're under 500.
If they were in a competent division, they would probably be in fourth or fifth. Yeah. So it's one of those things with MLB managers where like they will catch fire for 1 year and then slowly fall off. And I will say it might be a little too quick, but I wouldn't be so shocked if it happens.
Right. Producer
Michael,
what's your take?
What's your take?
Mine does not have to do with baseball. Brennan Sorsby should be eligible to play in college football this year. I just think that the way that gambling and all kinds of sports betting is so prevalent in today's world and advertised, and all these athletes are getting sponsorships with different trading companies and everything, I think it's very much inevitable that I would probably say in 5 years, if someone else does this, they will be playing the next year. And if this was Arch Manning or like Malachi Tony or Jeremiah Smith doing this, they would 100% be playing this year. Yes, Brendan Sorsby is known to us in the college football world as a very high talented prospect in the transfer portal. Obviously, he's at Texas Tech right now. But also when he bet, yes, it was on his team, but he wasn't even playing or anything. So it's not like he fixed the game or anything. So I think the way the world is moving in this gambling world in sports, I just don't see how that this isn't going to bite them in the back in a couple of years, with the same thing as like Reggie Bush taking away their Heisman because he was getting paid. So yeah, I think he should play.
I'm gonna go Bull on this. One, I had a teammate at Troy who was part of that Iowa scandal that lost his eligibility. Why is it fair to him?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same year, 2022. that he bet on the Iowa State game, and it's the same year that Brent Sorsby bet on his own team. I would agree with this if he didn't bet, one, on college football, but two, his team he was on. I think that's where you kind of have to draw the line, and I don't think there will ever be room in college football to bet on college football. I just don't think that'll ever be a thing. Now, the Norwegian table tennis that he was betting on is NCAA legal anyways, and like betting on the Reds, like in baseball, that should be fine. I agree with that, and I think it will be in the next 5 years. And I think there's already legislation to make it okay. But you can't bet on your own sport while you're actively in it, especially your own team, whether you are a factor or not. That is inside. It's like insider trading in stocks. It's the same thing. I just, no, he should not be eligible. So I'm going Bull on that. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I'm also going Bull because, like you said, the whole Iowa thing, I remember a few years ago, a bunch of guys lost their eligibility. And like he could have known, say, starting quarterback has an injury, not really being reported to the press. He can jump on that line before it gets reported and then say the line drops a bunch or like something. There's something. He can jump on the other team before the line drops. I mean, you just have all this insider information that is just unfair to everybody else because, I mean, you would obviously want to know if the quarterback was going to be out or if, like, their offensive lineman's going to not be playing. So you just have insider information. I'm kind of with Will. I don't think you should be able to bet on football, period, just because you still have those people, like, say you played with the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Football, yeah.
So, like, you played with the guys in the NFL who can give you information. You shouldn't be able to do football, period. Any other sport, I think you should be fine. They probably, I'd assume, would draw the line at you can't bet on college sports just in general because, like, the same thing. The best basketball player, he's not playing this weekend. Take the other team. So I think they'll probably say you could do pro, just not college. But I do not think he should be eligible.
Will be interesting to see where sports betting is taken the next couple
Oh,
years.
100%. I agree with you. I
Sports.
understand where you're coming from, but you got to draw the line on betting on your own team.
Yeah, you kind of have to show, hey, we're going to put our foot down. There's got to be a punishment.
And he was the number one portal quarterback.
Yeah.
So it is the NCAA kind of drawing a line that, hey, it kind of looked like they were going to Trinidad Chambliss their way into this.
And I'm going to give props to the judge. The judge literally –
a judge in Mississippi who was a graduate of the University of Mississippi, he was able to recuse himself.
Yeah, because I have too much, I am out. So I give major respect to that dude.
We all knew Trinidad was coming back.
Yeah. All right, let's talk NBA playoffs. Since we last got on, the Knicks, in a very quick series, swept the Cavaliers. We called it in 5, so, I mean, that's close enough. But damn, 4-0 domination by New York. They are headed to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. The Thunder also took a 3-2 series lead on the Spurs last night. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. We'll go producer Luke, then me. How are you calling the Thunder Spurs? Is it ending in 6? Is it going to 7? Who's coming out on top?
I want to say the Spurs, and I think it's going to happen. It's just, it seems like every other game, the referees are having input. Like the game last night, all I seen was on my feed this morning was just all these missed calls from the refs and all these flops from OKC. But in the game 4 in San Antonio, there's no complaints. The Spurs won by, I think, at least 25, something like that. And they tied it up 2-2, but I see the comments about like how after game 1 when the Spurs won, the memes and like the comments were like, this game is going to 7. This series is going to 7 games, and I still think it is. I think the Spurs get their win at home, and I somehow just think they squeak it out away at the Thunder. And then, honestly, I don't even know how the Knicks are here. To be honest, I knew they were good, but I didn't know they were this good. I honestly thought for some Cleveland not being as good as they are doesn't make any sense with the talent that they have on their team. And obviously from the clips, it's just a lack of effort on their team. And we all know that the Knicks are a hustle team because of Coach Tibbs, even though he's not their coach anymore, but it's still all those guys. And they all play together in college and stuff like that. So, I mean, Gotham City come alive. Knicks are the NBA champions, man. I think it's gonna happen.
I would love to see it happen, to be
I
honest with
would
you.
too.
It's one of those big market teams that I don't hate are the New York Knicks. Luke, how do you see the Western Conference Finals ending up?
I like Michael said, I've watched actually every game in this series, so I've seen the officiating firsthand. Last night, they didn't lose because of officiating. It did not help. They lost because they all played like absolute ass.
Yeah,
Wemby didn't play good. Vassell didn't play good. Fox didn't play good. Like none of them played good. So
And one guy was like 1 point, rebound, or assist away from playing good, you know?
Champagne, he was like their top scorer at like
Yeah.
halftime or something like that.
yeah, he was their like only guy who played really good, I think. But I watched about half of that game last night. But I mean, they're obviously like the challenge thing. How do you miss that when he's standing right there saying, let's look at it, and you just blatantly ignore him? I mean, like I'm gonna kind of quote Jay Will here about this series is like, as a fan of the game, how can you watch this when SGA falls down at about half of his shots? It's just not fun to watch. I do think the Thunder will end up winning in 7. I don't want it to happen, but I just don't think the Spurs are going to be able to take game 7 in OKC. I don't think they're at that level yet. So it'll be a very interesting finals with the Knicks and Thunder, though, because if the Knicks win, that city might actually burn down. So
I'm gonna go Spurs in 7. They got to get their I've seen a trend here. It's their second quarter play that is really hindering the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, they're like at a -12 differential on average this series in the second quarter.
And I want to say part of that is the bench for the Spurs is so much worse. The Thunder are 10 times deeper. So the bench for the Spurs does not score at all compared to the Thunder. So that is another reason why that is such a big difference.
And if they can get that tightened up, I mean, San Antonio's been competitive in every one of these games. Wemby's got to step up. I do think they win at home. I think it's going to 7. It just matters who wins game 7. I also don't think there can be 2 blue and orange teams in the NBA Finals. So I'm going to go. I think the NBA really wants to put a poster of Wemby hovering over New York City as like an alien. So I'm going to go Spurs in 7 to face the New York Knicks.
And I want to say one more thing. The NBA script was already leaked. If you went on the NBA website a few days ago, it said final like contenders, and it had the Knicks and it had the Thunder.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, I don't know.
Also, just want to back up Luke's correct statements. Vassell only 6 points, Fox with a 9, and Harper only had 5. Not very good for who are supposed to be your guys helping Wemby.
And last thing on it, SGA, like we give obviously like me and Michael sort of like Ja, Grizzly fans or whatever. Compared these two in the playoffs, SGA is such a playoff dropper.
Yeah.
It is insane. For the MVP of the league, he's shooting under 30%, and half of his points last night came on free throws. I mean, it's kind of, if their team wasn't as loaded as it is.
I have to give a shout out to the guy I just don't like either. I mean, Jared McCain is having himself a series, and he's putting the Thunder.
I hate that man.
He's putting the Thunder on his back whenever SGA is just not performing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's been a great series so far. So
on to hockey. Another absolutely stunning sweep. I mean, jaw open, stunning. We came on this podcast last time out and absolutely berated the Vegas Golden Knights. Said they were the luckiest team alive. A flip has been switched. A switch has been flipped. Wow, that was dyslexic as me. 4-0 Vegas. 4-0 dominant games by the Vegas Golden Knights. It is the typical defense beat offense. They locked down on defense. Incredible forecheck. It turned into offensive chance for the Vegas Golden Knights, and they capitalized. Carter Hart has been absolutely unbelievable for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's been a game changer in this team, as has John Tortorella behind the bench. I did not see this one. I saw Colorado in 5. Luke saw Colorado in 4. Vegas came out and swept them, and they are now terrifying to face against in the Stanley Cup final. The conversation really has got to tilt to this Eastern Conference final, As I look over at the scoreboard right now, Montreal's being outshot 7-0 right now in the first period. This has been the story of the series. Other than game one, where Montreal just completely dominated, Carolina has been able to keep the puck and outshoot the Canadiens every single time. And yet, we've gone to overtime in back-to-back games with a 2-3 final when Montreal has shot the puck literally 12 times on goal. They got outshot 26 shots on goal last game. It was the winning goal was 38. So,
well, I'm liking my Canes and 6 prediction.
I'm still sticking with my pick. I've got Habs in 7. If they lose this game tonight, it will be
what
Carolina. I mean, what my fault? It is. Anyways, I'm still going with the Habs in 7. They are the more skilled team. They've got to shoot the damn puck. I mean, it's too many passes, too many trying to find the perfect time to score, which is maybe why they are getting these goals on only 12 shots. However, you know how the playoffs go. It's a gritty game. You need those gritty, tip-in, BS goals. Just, as the Quebec say it, shoot the puck. Shoot the damn puck. Tabarnak, the call is. Anyways, Montreal in 7. Luke, then Michael, how do you see the ECF going?
So sadly, I've been trying to keep up with the NBA more because you and Chase mainly watch hockey. So I've been watching more in the NBA. So I've missed some of the series, but I'm going to ride with my prediction of Canes in 6. I did see the shot numbers from the other night and it was kind of ridiculous. So I don't know if that trend cannot continue, but I feel like that's a really good sign if you're Carolina to moving forward.
Michael.
I'll hold off on the ECF right now, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Vegas, which I think they're saying on the call last night. I think it's for the whole playoffs, but to have 19 of your 20 players have a point in the playoffs.
Yes, they had 19 of their 20 players.
Is that just excluding the goalie?
No, they're
just I don't know who it is. It's probably one of their guys on the fourth line. But,
yeah. Actually, I think it was a third line defenseman.
That is unreal to have at least everyone on that plays has at least an assist or a goal in the playoffs, that just shows how Vegas runs it. They pass it, they let everyone in. No one really takes over or has to touch the puck in order for them to score. And if Carter Hart's playing like that, Vegas might win. It would be another cup, right? They've already won.
Yeah, they've already won one.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Mitch Marner as well.
Yes.
Every time he touches the puck, you think it may go in the net. He's been absolutely unbelievable ever since he left that hellhole that is Toronto. Carter Hart also playing unbelievable. Even Jack Eichel. He's like 18 assists in the playoffs. It's absolutely unbelievable for Vegas. But I do want to hear your comments, Michael, on the Habs and the Canadiens as you have watched all 3 games.
This series is so confusing. Carolina should literally win every single rest of the games. Carolina should win. Montreal's won once, right? It's 2-1.
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Carolina should win in 5. But also with how the Canadian curse is still alive, with the President's Cup curse still going alive after what just happened, I think Carolina wins these next 2 games, and I think it's going to be Carolina-Vegas.
Carolina-Vegas. I'm going to preface, I'm rooting for whoever comes out of the East. I hate the Golden Knights.
I can get with that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Whoops.
MLB power rankings on a softer note. The Braves are still the best team in baseball. The Rays are the best team in the AL, so I'm going to stick at them at 2, which is aging poorly with this Orioles series. Dodgers have gotten back on the right track. They're on 3. The Brewers, man, as Cardinals fans, we just witnessed this. They are a damn good baseball team. They are at number 4. And then number 5, the hottest team in baseball, 9-1 in their last 10, and has moved into a wild card spot in the NL, second in the NL West. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they round up my top 5. Luke, who's your top 5?
I'm going to go with number 1, the Braves. Still the best offense. Still one of the best staffs in the game. And number 2, like baseball, it's baseball. You're going to lose some games in a row. You're going to have slumps. The Rays, I think, will be fine. So they're going to still slide into my number 2. The Brewers have the best staff in all of baseball. Their pitching staff is insanely good. William Contreras is hitting the cover off the baseball right now. Jackson Churrio's playing amazing. You have also Bryson Terang. They're playing amazing baseball right now. Number 4, is going to be the Yankees. They just got Cole back, who absolutely shoved, even though they lost. But that's a really great sign. They have the AL Cy Young, in my opinion, with Cam Schlittler. And Ben Rice is probably a top 3 hitter in all of the MLB right now. And then Corbin Carroll has more triples, I'm pretty sure, this year than like 15 teams. It's pretty insane. He can absolutely fly. He has been ripping the cover off the baseball. The Diamondbacks are just playing really good. Nolan Arenado's kind of having a resurgent season, which we're seeing with all of these guys who we traded this offseason or past few years with Goldie, Arenado, and Winston Contreras. So, yeah, no. Diamondbacks coming in at my 5.
Chase has it Braves 1, Rays 2, Dodgers 3, Yankees 4, Brewers 5. Producer, your first power rankings. How do you see it?
Yeah, not much to add on here. Pretty chalked, the same as y'all. Brewers staff is really good, and I think the Yankees are just gonna keep on trending, and eventually them and the Rays will flip.
Okay.
All right.
Our duties for May 19th to the 26th. Ketel Marte had himself a week, 538 batting average with a 571 on base percentage, 923 slugging. I think it was important to note he had 4 doubles, which is, that's power hitting without hitting it out of the park. 2 dingers and 10 ribbies.
I think one of those home runs was a walk-off.
It was.
Mistaken.
Yep.
So.
He had plenty of Diamondback social media posts made about him, so Ketel Marte, you are my duty.
Shout out Luke with the St. Louis Wilson Contreras.
That's Wilson, man.
Look, we still have a lot of love for Contreras here in Cardinals Nation, but talk to me about the Red Sox, Wilson Contreras.
Okay, I try to keep my Cardinal theme.
The trend is alive.
Yeah, so obviously I love Wilson Contreras as a player. He's like that kind of guy who you love on your team, but you hate elsewhere just because he's kind of a pain in the ass. But he's been hitting the ball really well for Boston. He's hitting .458 this week with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Now, for some reason, when I look on sites, I need to get whatever website you have. I will go to 2 different websites.
MLB, I just go to MLB.com.
Okay, it'll give me 2 separate stat lines, and I'm like, I'm just going to do the most consistent, which was the 3 stats. So, but Wilson, you're my duty. Wilson.
Mikey, who's your dude?
Shout out Michael Harris for the Braves. He in his 5-game stretch this week, 3 bombs with average just below 400 with a nice OBP of also 409, and pretty much just helping this number 1 overall Braves team throughout the week.
All right, those are our duties for the week. Let's move on now to.
I thought you were laughing at the doubles thing.
No, I was laughing at Wilson Contreras with the St. Louis
What's getting 4 doubles?
No, I know. That's why I was like a little confused. Why?
No, the Wilson Contreras. I just saw. I was like, oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
NCAA baseball tournament picks. We first head to the Los Angeles Regional, hosted by the number 1 overall seed UCLA. The 2 seed in that region is Virginia Tech. The 3 Cal Poly, and 4 St. Mary's. I've got this one going to UCLA. I think they will face Cal Poly, not Virginia Tech, in that regional final, where they will take care of it in 1 game. Won't need 2. I think this is a very chalk UCLA regional as well. Montreal's going back on the power play. So I've got the Bruins pretty handily in the LA regional. Chase also has UCLA. So then Luke and Michael, what do you think about the Los Angeles regional?
I've also got UCLA, and I'm going to kind of agree with you. I do not think Vodtech will be in this final at all. It'll either be St. Mary's or Cal Poly. Vodtech was a very, very, very average. The fact they got a 2 seed was kind of
surprising. Yep.
Yeah, you could have thrown Mercer in there, and I'd feel better about that. But I mean, I think UCLA kind of coast through this.
Michael.
Yeah. This was one of the easier regions for the hosts in Los Angeles, and UCLA is a good team. Like, they are very good. We'll get into them later, how good they are compared to other teams, and throughout the whole college baseball, but they should have no problem with this. This should be done by Sunday.
100%. Heading over to Morgantown now, who they are paired up with the Los Angeles Super Regional if UCLA were to advance. The 16-seeded West Virginia hosts. They draw the 2-seed Wake Forest, 3-seed Kentucky, who got in there on the bubble, and 4-seeded Binghamton. Yeah, it should have been Mercer. But despite the fact Wake Forest isn't playing well, and neither is
Yeah.
Binghamton, I do think this is a West Virginia Kentucky final that actually goes to Monday. And I do think West Virginia is able to eke it out at home. Chase also has West Virginia. How do you two see it?
I've got West Virginia playing Wake. I think Kentucky, yes, they're in the SEC, but I think they won what, 2 SEC series all year?
Yeah,
One SEC, like, I mean, there comes a point where if you're just like not winning, I feel like that has to definitely impact you a little bit. So I got Wake Forest in the final and losing in Morgantown.
do you have it going one day or two on that final?
We'll go one day. I think they relatively walk through.
Michael.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Luke here. Kentucky just
I've been following all week, and I also watched Wake get wiped by Pitt. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. Wake did lose to Pitt in the game, but before that, Wake was on one. Wake had won 10 of their last 11, so they're not like they're on the right track. And what the most important thing is in baseball is winning games in the later half of the season. Yes, they got swept by Georgia Tech, and they just got swept by. Then they got swept by Florida State earlier in the year, and I think we were pretty big on Wake earlier in the year, and they had just kind of fallen off. So I think I think West Virginia got bailed out with who they got as their 2C. So I guess technically Wake would be the 17th ranked team in the nation, right?
yes,
They'd be the number 1 2C. And the fact that West Virginia is not paired up with Arkansas is
I know.
crazy.
Kansas kind of got hoed a little bit.
Kansas got screwed.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, yes, they are technically the 17th team in the country. A little geographical when it comes to the regionals.
I guess. I mean, that does make sense. But I also think that Morgantown and West Virginia is just like that. Is like they're. I feel y'all could agree that like they're a baseball kind of school. I would say. Yeah. And shout out JJ Weatherholt.
Yes, 100%. Talk about people who got screwed in their regional, these next two.
Yeah.
Especially Southern Miss guys. And I hate Southern as a Troy alum and fan, but they got absolutely hoed because let me tell you about this regional. The number 9 Southern Miss Hattiesburg regional, the 2 seed is Virginia, okay? Unranked. The 3 seed is the number 21 team in the D1 baseball poll, Jacksonville State, and the 4 seed is Little Rock. All right, Little Rock's a non-factor here.
But Little Rock did take LSU last year.
Yes.
I don't know how much they returned, but they still took LSU to the final day.
Little Rock's a little bit of a non-factor, but let's talk about my pick here is Jacksonville State, and I think they're going to face Southern Miss in one game. I think Southern Miss is going to be coming out of the losers bracket when they lose to Jacksonville State the first time, and then they will lose again in the championship game. I'm in love with this Jacksonville State team, which is, I'm pretty sure, a cardinal sin for me to say as a Troy fan.
Let's say.
They are 46-13. They swept Auburn in a home-and-home midweek series. They swept, or they won 2 or 3 against at Missouri State, which is another at-large tournament team. They lost by 1 to Alabama on the road. It's a very impressive team. They beat the Liberty in the championship game by 10. Liberty is another tournament team. This team can hit 1 through 7 in the order like no mid-major out there. Their weekend staff is unbelievable. Jacksonville State, I think, should be the odds-on favorite to come out of this regional. Southern Miss is a damn good baseball team, but we also saw Southern Miss had to put a lot of effort into winning the Sun Belt Conference tournament. They burned through a lot of pitching. You got to wonder how that fatigue may affect them in this regional. They will be at home, but Jacksonville State is my pick, and they will get it done in one game against Southern Miss. Chase has Southern Miss, as do you, Luke, so talk to me about it.
Yeah, I'm going to take Southern Miss to win. I think it'll end up going with Jacksonville State, and it'll be the Monday game. They'll have to win twice. They'll win essentially like in 7 or whatever. So I do think you're playing at home. I mean, I've watched the College World Series and college tournament or whatever the past few years. They've had those same like 3 guys, the big first baseman. I think it's the third baseman, one of the outfielders. I have recognized for the past 3 years. I think they're going to finally kind of get out of their region, maybe push for a super. I don't know if we're going that far, but they're going to at least win their region, in my opinion. So it's going to be
tough. You win your region, you're in the super. So
I mean, College World Series.
Yes,
sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough draw with Jacksonville State. I do kind of agree they got hoed because Virginia is a pretty good 2 seed, and you've got a ranked 3 seed. So, but
Michael, you're going with the unpopular pick here.
Yeah, I guess I am. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I'm ranking the ACC as the second hardest conference this year in baseball. I don't think that the Big 12 is better overall than the ACC. And
I would agree with that.
Virginia's resume is so solid. They got a series win against North Carolina. They got a series win against Wake. They have a series win against Clemson. They have a series win against Notre Dame, which they're not that good, but I mean, this is a solid 2 seed, and like the Virginia Jacksonville State game is going to be great. Now, the reason why I didn't pick Jacksonville State is, yes, they played hard teams in their non-con like Auburn, but they also lost to Alabama, which Alabama's such a weird team. We'll get into them later, but
Yeah.
I just don't I do not trust these these non-power conferences, and I consider the Sun Belt a power conference in baseball, but not Jacksonville State's conference. So I'm going with Virginia, and I think Southern Miss. It's probably because of recency bias, because I watched them play like 3 times, 4 times in like a span of like 2 days, 3 days, and they can hit, but when they want to, but other times they just shut down. And Troy had some of those games won, and so I mean, one of them was a walk-off grand slam in the bottom 9th. They're not probably going to do that again, but I see Virginia coming out of the Hattiesburg region.
I don't hate it now that you talked about it. We had a goal by Carolina. This may be ruled offsides. Let's go to the Gainesville regional, my favorite regional, the regional I'll be tuning in the most. We have the 8 seed Florida Gators. The 2 seed in that regional is Miami, who Florida has already swept this year. The 3 seed is the Trojans of Troy, and then the 4 seed is Rider. Me and Chase, we're going with the Troy boys. One, how am I going to pick against Troy? But I also have some reasoning behind this. Me and Luke have watched this Florida team
a lot.
Unless they are pitching their SEC Pitcher of the Year, they are hit or miss. It comes and goes. I'm not impressed with this Miami team at all. They've lost some very key conference games. They are a highly explosive offensive team, but a very not good pitching team. I think that plays into the favor of Troy for that first round matchup. I think Troy will go on to face Florida. Florida will pitch the race. We will lose. Here's the thing. I've got Troy winning this in 7. I was actually so bought out of this Troy team coming into the conference tournament. I have seen us blow a the bottom of the 9th game, wake up, and it ended at like 11:30 at night, wake up at 9 a.m. and go score 11 runs on South Alabama. This is a very resilient team. I think they really, really want it. And we are also very due for a super regional appearance from a Power 5 baseball conference. The Sun Belt is the 5th ranked baseball conference. In all year, I was not going to pick whoever was in Florida's region, or I was not going to pick Florida no matter who was in their region.
Yeah.
I just cannot get bought in on this Gators team. They did have a decent SEC tournament run. However, it's their bats. They come and go. Let them have one bad game, and Troy could win this one completely outright. I think Miami's kind of a non-factor. I think Ryder's kind of a non-factor. I think it's going to come down to Florida and Troy, and I'm going to take the Troy boys. Luke and Michael.
Yeah, no, this is a very scary region for me because I could totally see Florida losing their first 2 games and just being out. But I also could see them going to the College World Series. It is just such a hit or miss team. They should, if the rain delay did not happen versus Georgia, I think they would have beaten Georgia. I do think they would have beaten. I think taking that like 2-hour break kind of messed them up a little bit. And I was a little mad because I had in my
But
block.
that also is stereotypical Florida.
Yes, I know. So it's just Florida's so, oh my God, Florida's so hard to just play.
Damn.
I'm going with my gut. It'll be Florida, but it'll be Florida, and I think the 3rd day or whatever, on Monday. I'll go Florida Monday versus Troy, the runner-up.
All right, Michael.
I also watching Troy play. I'm not bought into Troy. It's to be honest, it's their pitching, and it scares me. Their pitching just is not very good. I mean, and you can just tell by the when they play their non-con games, like Mississippi State, who doesn't really. I mean, Mississippi State is very hit and miss with the bats, and Mississippi State scored 13 on them. And I think when they just go against higher level teams, it just seems like their pitching is their weakness.
This team did beat Georgia, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, but they also lost to Georgia again, so 11-1. So I like Troy, but I mean, I'm just gonna go with the home team here, the home region, and Florida is just like Luke said, like they probably should have been the SEC championship game,
Yeah.
and they've been playing good, and they almost beat Georgia, and then they actually beat Georgia in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, when those teams are hot or not, I mean, they just have to get hot, and I think Florida's gonna get hot, and they're gonna.
Oh man, I'm gonna be the biggest Ryder fan on Friday.
Oh,
you'll
really?
ever say.
They're probably not going to pitch their guy against Ryder.
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
So
It's
they might
coming
win.
to bite them. I mean,
But another thing with Florida, you have the tenure, you have the head coach too, which the manager, which does matter, I think, a little bit.
And he knows what the F he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's been there forever.
Yes,
So.
well, I just want to, before we move on to, I mean, we are taking a while in baseball, as I expected us to. I just wanted to take a peek at what Ryder has done. Okay, so they were an automatic qualifier. It seems they only played Fairfield in the MAC tournament. Oh, they played Merrimack.
Loaded
Let's
conference.
look at their non.
Beat Seton Hall.
Yeah, they beat Seton Hall, a solid team. They beat Long Island, tournament team. Yeah, not very impressive, but who knows? It's baseball.
I mean,
Baseball's
Buttermilk
weird.
made a little bit of a run last year.
Yeah,
they scored
Murray
again.
State guys. Yeah, this is 3-0 Carolina.
3-0.
I pray for Chloe.
Yeah, it's over.
Yes,
It's over.
All right. Chapel Hill Regional, where the number 5 overall team, the North Carolina Tar Heels, host the 2-seeded Tennessee Volunteers. A surprising, if you would have talked to this podcast months ago, 3-seed Eastern Carolina, where they were doing
one of my heads.
Yeah, we got you real quick. If
yeah.
Michael would just
No. I'm saying I forgot to delete.
He's
One of
fine.
my
It's fine.
heads.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no.
forgot you're still on Eastern
I'm
Carolina.
just gonna leave his head.
There.
I got you.
The 3-seed Eastern Carolina, then VCU, who's having a little bit of a down year, is a 4-seed, but still was able to qualify automatically to the A10. I'm not impressed with Tennessee at all, so I think this one's kind of chalk. This is an ECU team who I thought was not very good at period. I think the American is a pretty terrible baseball conference. Which they had to beat UTSA. That was pretty much it. They did. So props to ECU. Historically, great baseball program. This year's not the year. I've got North Carolina comfortably beating Tennessee in one game in that final. Chase has North Carolina as well. Michael, you also have North Carolina.
Yeah, Tennessee just on and off all year. North Carolina has been solid. They've been very good all year, consistently in I think pretty much the top 5 all year.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia Tech. They swept basically everyone, or at least won every series in the ACC except for Virginia. Shout out Virginia. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty easy region. I think Chapel Hill will get it done.
Luke.
All right. My logic, one of these just like mid-major baseball teams has got to advance. Like, I feel like one of them's going to advance in this. And ECU, if we do remember, drew a weekend series versus North Carolina. So they played them. They've beaten them once. They've lost to them once.
They did draw that series,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I mean, I don't think Tennessee, this is not the midweek. Tennessee is a non-factor. Even though VCU looked good in their conference tournament, I watched way too much VCU baseball this weekend. They're a non-factor. I think this ECU team is going to pull an absolute shocker off and upset North Carolina on Monday.
All right. I love it.
I got some logic. I mean,
All right, let's move over to the College Station Regional, where the number 12 Texas A&M Aggies host USC as the 2-seed, Texas State, who they split in the midweek with, as the 3-seed, and Lamar University. I do have A&M. I am shaky on this. I actually think they beat Texas State, and they have to do it twice to move on to the Supers. USC's really good.
yeah.
However, I think this region is low-key stacked.
It is.
I think Lamar's pretty good coming out of the Southland. I think Texas State's a damn good team coming out of the Sun Belt. I think USC's a damn good team out of the Big Ten. I think Texas A&M's a good team. I think I'm going to see Texas A&M versus USC, where I think they will both throw their best pitchers. I think Texas State will get past Lamar in the losers bracket, and Texas State will then upset A&M in that first game of the final. Second game of the final, pitching will become a factor, and I've got A&M moving on. Michael, you agree with me here?
Yeah, I'm riding with A&M just because USC is just, if I'm being completely honest, they are um they're the Mississippi State Big Ten.
Yeah,
They win the series they're supposed to win,
but they don't win the good
but
series.
whenever they play a team that's hypothetically better than them, they have not come out on top. They got swept by UCLA. They got swept by Nebraska. They lost. They won the first game against Oregon, and then they lost the next two and loses the series against Oregon, which is basically the three other really good teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And USC did not beat any of them. So and you could, Texas A&M is kind of the same way, but they also have that series win against Texas, and they also have a series win against Florida. So I think A&M is just going, and it's at College Station. So I like A&M in this.
Chase goes with USC. So do you, Luke.
Yeah. I have like some actual reasoning, but I kind of want to point. Obviously, Chase is going against them, but like me and Chase have talked about this before. Anytime we pick Texas A&M in this baseball pick thing, we just lose. It never works out. So I'm going with USC. I think they have one of the top pitchers in the country, if I'm not mistaken. So I do think they'll end up going 2-0, and I think they'll end up playing A&M. They'll lose one of them, and then they'll win on that final day. I think this is an absolutely loaded series, or a loaded region, and I think A&M did get a little bit of hoed on this one. So.
Talk about Hode, man.
Yes.
Nebraska's regional is just an absolute freaking gauntlet. I mean, it's a gauntlet. They are the 13th overall seed. They host as the 2 seed, the number 18 team in the country, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
The 3 seed is number 22 in the country, Arizona State. And then you've got South Dakota State, who's a damn good mid-major baseball team. I mean, never mind. I lied. They're 24-31. Historically good. Not this year. Oh, wow. They are terrible.
Hey, it balances out a little bit.
It does. It balances it out a little bit. They beat Oral Roberts, which I guess means something.
Not much.
I've got Arizona State winning this on Sunday. I think they're clear-cut the best team. A very explosive offense. We have seen that both earlier in the season and late. It's just the Big 12. It's tough when it gets to the top. It's a good Kansas team. It's a really good West Virginia team. They just ran into a good West Virginia team in that semifinals. We see West Virginia go to supers. I think Arizona State joins them. Not really bought in on Nebraska, just because, one, they also kind of like USC lost all those big series other than beating USC in the Big Ten. Ole Miss, man, can win a game against Georgia, and they can also lose to Missouri. You never know what you're going to get with the Rebs. It's just not the same Ole Miss team. I think they're kind of got a little bit Bianco fatigue over there in Oxford. So I'm going with Arizona State here. Chase went with Nebraska, but Luke, you agree with me here on the Sun Devils?
Yeah, Landon Harrison is the greatest Arizona State baseball player since Barry Bonds. He is absolutely raking the baseball. The amount of power this dude has is insane. And I think that's going to be a big factor here. If you hit a huge home run, that's going to get people going. It's playoff baseball. The only thing where I will kind of lean to Ole Miss here is the fact that they did lose to Missouri, but that means they have been rested way more than all these other teams that went deep in their conference tournament. So I do think that will benefit them. I just kind of feel bad for Nebraska because they had such a good year. They're hosting a regional, and they just got absolutely hoed.
Michael.
Yeah,
it should be a war crime.
This is a war crime, by the way.
This is brutal. I feel so bad for Nebraska. And also Nebraska has
It's a war crime for you picking Ole Miss.
Oh, well, I mean, I just go logically here, boys, when it comes to pick'ems. And as you can tell, I'm usually right. Except for college baseball, apparently. So, but the reason why I picked Ole Miss is honestly because I actually think Ole Miss is a decent team, but they are very much the home run team. They hit bombs, but that's basically it, which can lose you a lot of baseball games. But I feel so bad for Nebraska because they are a great fan base. First off, they have an amazing fan base. And they're not they got screwed basically. And I also am not going with Arizona State because I am a big hater of the Big 12 in baseball. I think their conference is very weak, very overhyped, and I think that a mid SEC team like Ole Miss is going to take care of both of these teams. And I mean, Hunter Elliott's not the best pitcher in the world as their Friday starter. So I really don't know what their rotation is going to look like. They're probably gonna pitch him against Arizona State, but I like Ole Miss to get this done. And let's go with Monday. They'll get it done Monday.
All right. Who are they facing?
They'll face Nebraska. I'm not a Big 12 guy, and Arizona State, like I was looking at their schedule, and I mean, they didn't really play anybody. I'm being completely honest.
They got a dude, bro.
They lost to West Virginia in their series. They didn't play Kansas. And
What?
yeah, like I'm not seeing Kansas on their schedule at all. And I'm seeing Kansas State, but not Kansas. So they just haven't played anyone. And they lost the series to Oklahoma State. So I just don't see I just think this team is very overrated. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss winning this.
All right, we head to Auburn, over to the Plains with the 4 overall seed, host the 2-seeded UCF, the Golden Knights, 3-seed NC State Wolfpack, and 4-seed Milwaukee. They handed this one to Auburn. I think they get it done on Sunday against UCF. How do y'all see it? Chase also has Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn, UCF. I think it's a very chalk region. NC State shouldn't be in the tournament.
Correct.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think it's also more of the region is weak, but also Auburn's a dang good baseball
Auburn's
team.
so good. And I think they'll be able to rest some pitching, which will be key. Atlanta, it gets a little dicey with Oklahoma. They're kind of hit or miss, but I think Georgia Tech takes care of business, gets it done on Sunday. Chase also has Georgia Tech. How do y'all see the Atlanta Regional?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't do my due diligence. 2-seeded Georgia Tech hosts 2-seed Oklahoma, 3-seeded Citadel, and 4-seeded University of Illinois Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia Tech. I think their offense is just way too much. They got way too many guys that hit over like 380, 390, and all the staff has to do is just be okay. And Oklahoma's just been kind of hit or miss for me this year, so I think they'll end up getting it done on, what is it, Sunday?
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, this is a quick and easy series for Georgia Tech, and they will continue their very good season.
All right, we head over to Lawrence, Kansas, where the 15 overall Kansas Jayhawks host the Arkansas Razorbacks as the 3-seeded Missouri State Bears, who beat Arkansas in the midweek, and the 4-seeded Northeastern Huskies, who historically are a great baseball mid-major program. This is a gauntlet for Kansas. They are not coming out of it. No. I've got Arkansas on Sunday against Missouri State. I do not think Kansas makes it to the finals. It's been a great year for the Jayhawks. They just aren't really impressive in my mind. They kind of played the ass end of the Big 12 in conference play. They did win the tournament.
The whole Big 12 is terrible.
They got swept. They got swept by West Virginia at home. They did sweep UCF. They lost to Texas Tech, who was terrible this year. They tied a series to Minnesota, who's not good. They lost to Lamar.
No, I mean, when I was looking at the rankings about 2 weeks ago, I think I looked through Kansas's schedule and I literally asked, I said, how is Kansas ranked? And then also another team that I think we're going to talk about later is Oregon State. And I didn't understand how Oregon State was ranked so high as they were, but that's for later. But yeah, I mean,
Chase also in Arkansas, but Luke and Michael.
I'm on Arkansas. I think they get it done versus Kansas on Sunday. I'm not bought in on this Kansas team at all.
Yeah, and I think Arkansas is really red hot. The bats are hot for the Hawks.
The baseball teams that usually make it far, the teams that are first hot and also just have like that, they're like energy teams. When they get rolling, they're hyped. They just feed off of each other, and that is Arkansas. As we watched the Arkansas-Auburn game, and one of their dudes caught a moth and was just holding
Yeah,
it.
that shit was electric.
And
that was awesome.
it was just like teams like that just find like niche different ways to be different and just get around each other. Or the teams that make it far. And honestly, Arkansas got screwed out of hosting a region. So
Yeah, I agree.
Let's head over down to Tallahassee, where the number 10 overall Florida State Seminoles hosted 2-seeded Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, 3-seeded Northern Illinois University Huskies, and then 4-seeded St. John's, the Johnnies out of New York, out of the Big East. Look, NIU's not a bad baseball team. They're just not good enough to compete in this regional. Coastal, man, if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said Coastal would have won this region. They have not played well at all recently. I mean, they got bounced. They literally cannot beat Louisiana. I mean, it literally is impossible for them to beat the Raging Cajuns. Maybe that's their kryptonite. But it's a Florida State team that's looked good coming out of the regular season through the ACC tournament. I think this is kind of a no contest. I think this is Florida State on Sunday, just because, man, Coastal's fall off was hard. I mean, from being a potential super host to a 2-seed tells you all you need to know about this regional. It should be pretty cake for the Noles. Chase is also on Florida State. How do you two see it?
Yeah, I agree. Coastal's slide from the heavens has just been insane. And I think Florida State should handle. It'll be Florida State Coastal, but Florida State will end up winning on Sunday.
Michael.
Yeah, I have to agree with this. Tallahassee is also a banger of a region.
Yeah.
It is every single time they host. And I mean, I agree. I think this one isn't that Florida State is a like really good baseball team. I think it's more of they got the luck of the draw with this region. And I was thinking it's like, man, whoever gets Coastal in the region is gonna be pretty happy because Coastal is just on the downfall. Now, would I be surprised if Coastal wins this region? Absolutely not, because they've been the top 10 for basically the whole year until they just absolutely fell off. But yeah, I see the Noles getting it done in Tallahassee.
Let's head over to Tuscaloosa, where the number 7 overall seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide, hosts Oklahoma State as a 2-seed, 3-seeded South Carolina Upstate, and 4-seeded Alabama State. I've got Bama on a Monday taking out Oklahoma State. I do think Oklahoma State will force that necessary game, but I am pretty confident in the Tide at home. I'm confident in the Tide at home. They win at home. I don't know what it is. They go on the road, a completely different ball team. However, it's an Oklahoma State team that can hit. They have decent pitching. I think Upstate and Alabama State are pretty much non-factors. It's going to be a battle between the Cowboys and the Crimson Tide, and I've got the Crimson Tide. As does Chase. Michael, you also have Alabama.
Yeah, I honestly, Alabama's hot, and I'm being complete. I'm not bought into Alabama at all whatsoever. But I think it's just more of a luck of the region draw. I don't really see any teams competing. I mean, Oklahoma State is
the number 19 team in the country, yeah.
But again, what conference are they in?
They're in the Big 12, Michael.
Okay, so,
but Oklahoma State, keep talking. I'll elaborate on that.
But Oklahoma State does have some decent wins. They beat Arizona State in a series. They lost to Kansas, though.
They got blown out by Arkansas and Oklahoma at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but they take too much into consideration beginning of the season. But
they lost to Vandy.
Like I mean,
no, they beat Vandy 11-1.
Bama snuck their way in here into being a national seed. Just somehow snuck their way in here. I think it was mostly to do with their
RPI.
Yeah, RPI. I mean, they had a gauntlet of a schedule in like Oklahoma, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, and yeah. I mean, I think Bama's gonna get it done.
Luke, go with the Cowboys. Go with the Pokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Holiday family. Been in the what's it called? They've been in some of these where they've been a 2-seed before, and they've won the region. And I just think that they usually do have really good bats. They also, I don't know if they do this year, they always have a guy who's like 6'8", 6'9", and a pitcher who's like absolutely disgusting. So I don't know if they got that this year, but I just do not trust Bama. I don't really like Bama that much. I don't think they're a 7-seed at all, but their RPI is obviously way higher.
Yeah, I agree with Luke. I don't think Bama's a 7-seed.
No, they're not national.
But yeah. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State to kind of pull off the upstate and prove why Bama's not a 7-seed.
All right, we're heading to our last batch of 4 of regionals. We're heading over to Austin, Texas. We're all chalk. Matt, it's not as chalk as you think. In my opinion,
on all these regions.
In the Austin, yes, it is in all these regions very chalk for all of us. Chase and I are on Texas. I think Texas gets it done. It's tough for me because this Charlton State team, I think, is slept on just a little bit. 37-19 coming out of the WAC. They beat Baylor in the midweek. They beat Texas in the midweek on the road. They were competitive with UTSA. I mean, and they won their conference championship game by 10, 21-11. Also, Carleton's got a lot of money, if you haven't been able to tell. Their football program, basketball program, and baseball program all on the very rapid rise. UCSB is also not really a cakewalk of a team either. Santa Barbara, historically, a very good baseball program. I don't think this is easy for Texas as it looks on paper. I do think they win it on Sunday, though. I've got the Horns. Luke and Michael, how do you see the Horns getting it done?
I've also got Texas on Sunday. Being in Austin.
Oh, I do have them over Tarleton State on Sunday.
I'm going to have them over UCSB. I don't know. Some of these West Coast teams usually are really good at baseball, and Tarleton's a 4 for a reason. So I do think they'll win on Sunday over UCSB.
Michael.
Yeah, I think Texas's pitching staff is just way too talented for this region. So I have them handling the UCSB and Sunday.
All right, we head over to Eugene in a very interesting Pac-12 regional. The 11 seed Oregon Ducks host 2 seed Oregon State, then 3 seed Washington State, 4 seed Yale. Washington State's not good. Just by the way, I mean they're just not very good. Neither is Oregon State, in my opinion. I think they've been kind of overhyped all year. They are the number 8 team in the country on the D1 poll.
Also, it's probably because they're the Notre Dame. They don't play anybody, and
it's the Notre Dame of baseball this year.
Notable series wins: they swept Mercer.
Whoa, beat Hawaii.
They beat Hawaii.
That's the thing. If you look at Oregon
lost to Bama, split with Michigan, lost to Southern Miss, lost to Purdue. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think we are very, very close to having a Murray State moment in this regional. This Yale team is pretty good. They hit pretty well, and they have a very solid starting rotation. I think Oregon gets it done on Monday against Yale. I think Yale is the team that prevails to the finals. Oregon throws maybe lower
like a midweek
starter in that first final game. They're going to lose that game, and then they comfortably win on Monday. But we get a close scare in Eugene. I think it's Oregon over Yale. Chase has Oregon as well. How do y'all see the Eugene Regional going?
Yeah, I've got pretty chalk. I think it's going to be the Civil War on Sunday, and Oregon's going to end up walking away with it.
Michael.
Oregon State is just they just don't impress me. I mean, I haven't watched them play, so maybe like they're dominating, but I mean, again, I was thinking like, man, whoever gets Oregon State as their 2 seed is going to be very happy, and it's Oregon. So yeah, I think Oregon gets this done Sunday.
Got to join a conference, brother.
Yep. Start Vegas, baby. We're the number 14 overall Mississippi State Bulldogs host number 24 team in the country on the D1 poll, 2 seeded Cincinnati, the number 25 team in the country on the D1 poll, 3 seeded Louisiana, and Lipscomb. I think State got a gift on the surface. This is a very hot Louisiana team. They just kind of ran out of gas against Southern Miss in the championship game, but I do think State gets it done on Sunday against the Ragin' Cajuns. We will have the producer, boots on ground for the Starkville Regional this weekend. Very excited for him. I wish I could go. I've got too many obligations. Luke, how do you see the Starkville Regional? Oh, Chase also has State.
I've got State over Louisiana, but I got it on Monday. I think Louisiana is going to kind of carry that heat over. I mean, they were red hot in the Sun Belt tournament, and I've watched State some this year. They win some games, but they also do lose a bunch of games they really shouldn't lose, in my opinion. So I think they advance. I do think Louisiana will force it to Monday, though.
Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I just have State winning just because State takes care of the teams that are not as good as them. And it's just they don't beat any teams that are better than them, but we didn't lose. I don't think we didn't lose a single midweek game this year except for to Southern Miss at the very beginning of the year. And other than that, we took care of every single team we needed to. So, yeah, I think – and Starkville region, Duty Noble.
Those could be hopping.
got Duty Noble got voted best stadium in America by Baseball America. So it's gonna be popping, gonna be a great weekend. So yeah, got the dogs, and also got the other dogs.
Yeah.
and
Athens Regional,
like
3-seeded Georgia.
20-0 in every game.
Boston College the 2, Liberty's the 3, LAU's the 4. I've got Georgia very comfortably on Sunday against Boston College. Chase also has Georgia. How do y'all see it?
I got Georgia versus Liberty very comfortable on Sunday.
Yeah, I think this is the weakest region in the whole tournament, and Georgia is just. I mean,
They may
this
score
is the
20
region.
they may score 20 runs on
Yeah,
every team.
this is the of course probably gonna be the region we always get wrong because it fins up. Shout out fins up Nathan. They
Building a
here
program, dude.
this year.
College football playoff down.
They are soon. But yeah, got the Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, let's move into Super Picks. All right, I've got UCLA in 2 over the West Virginia Mountaineers in Los Angeles. I have an old rivalry, Troy and Jacksonville State, where I will be absolutely boots on the ground for the Troy Super Regional. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I've got Troy in 3 against Jacksonville State. I've got North Carolina in 3 against Texas A&M in Chapel Hill. I've got Auburn in 2 in Auburn against Arizona State. I've got Georgia Tech in 3, and this is a very flip-floppy super regional for me. I think Arkansas has every ability to win this. I just can't get past Georgia Tech's bats. So I've got Georgia Tech in 3. I've got Florida State in 3 against Alabama. I think this is where Alabama's team runs out. I've got Texas in 2 against Oregon in Austin. And I'll be damned if Mississippi State loses 6 out of 7 games against one team this year. They are going to win in 3 in Athens, and the Dogs are heading to the College World Series. Luke.
All right. I've got UCLA in a sweep. I've got Florida in 3. I've got
We got people on Spotify too.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I'm being a rookie. I got UCLA over West Virginia in a sweep. I've got Florida over Southern Miss in 3. I've got USC going back to the World Series for the first time in forever in 2 over ECU. I've got a shocker. I've got Arizona State over Auburn in 3. I've got Georgia Tech over Arkansas in 2. I've got Florida State over Oklahoma State in 2. I've got Texas over Oregon in 3, and I've got State.
Because you'll be damned.
They lose that to Georgia. There's got to be a breaking point. So give me State.
Well, let me tell y'all something.
See what Chase did in these
There's
super
a way.
regionals. Chase has UCLA over West Virginia, Southern Miss over Troy, this harlot. North Carolina over USC, Auburn over Nebraska, Georgia Tech over Arkansas, Florida State over Alabama, Texas over Oregon, and Georgia over Mississippi State. Big Mike, how do you see it?
Now, this is definitely not going to happen where all 8 national seeds are in the College World Series.
Well, except you have 7. You have 7.
Yeah, 7 of the 8. But, I mean, I think the college baseball world is very top-heavy this year. All these teams are very good, and if they catch fire, all of them can win it all. So I got UCLA beating West Virginia in a sweep of 2 games. I got Florida beating Virginia in 3 games. I got North Carolina handling Texas A&M in 2. Auburn beating Ole Miss in 3 games. I got Arkansas beating Georgia Tech in 3. Now, I mean, I could care less about this Alabama-Florida State game. This is crazy this is happening. But I'm going to go Bama, hot hand, SEC. Got Bama winning in 2. Texas winning in 2 against Oregon. And I have Georgia winning in 2 against Mississippi State. And Mississippi State will be 0-6 against Georgia.
No faith.
This year.
No faith.
I don't have any faith. And it's
very valid. It's very
Yes.
valid.
the only reason why, I mean, y'all see why that I'm picking Georgia to beat Mississippi State. So
All right. College World Series. I've got Auburn. So my first little quadrant bracket of the World Series is UCLA, Troy, North Carolina, and Auburn. I have, unfortunately, Troy as the first team eliminated. I will then have North Carolina eliminated, and then I will have Auburn winning and UCLA being my runner-up. Auburn advancing to the College World Series final. I have Mississippi State winning out of the Mississippi State, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Texas quadrant of the bracket. I said at the beginning of the year I called a Mississippi State national championship. I have to stick by that pick. They're a host, so why not? I've got the runner-up being Georgia Tech. I think the first team eliminated in that is Florida State, then Texas. Yeah, I'll be fully disclosed on the pod. I do think this is a very realistic final. I would absolutely pick Auburn. I will bet on Auburn. I think Auburn is the best team in baseball. They are my pick to win the whole thing, but can't go against my pick at the beginning of the year. I've got Mississippi State winning it all. Again, asterisk, I think Auburn wins, but give me Mississippi State. I will take credit for each of those, if either of those, if it is right. Luke, how do you see it?
See, I've got the fun bracket. I've got the really fun bracket.
You know, this guy just isn't a fan of an SEC team. Is exactly why this is the case.
No, I don't know. I wanted to make it more different because everybody else is all the SEC teams, which will probably happen. I just wanted to be a little different. I hate having UCLA there. I don't think they're very good, but as a number one seed since they do play in the Big Ten. But I'm going to have UCLA. Oh, Mr. Ken's going to shoot us. I'm going to have UCLA and the runner-up being Florida. And then I'm going to have first team eliminate Arizona State, second team USC. My other region, I'm going to have Georgia Tech. Runner-up is going to be State. The first eliminate is going to be Florida State. The second eliminate is going to be Texas. And I've got Georgia Tech in 3.
All right.
Yeah, I've got the fun bracket.
Chase has UCLA winning a quadrant of UCLA, North Carolina, Auburn, and Southern Miss. He has Southern Miss being the runner-up. On the other quadrant of Texas, Georgia Tech, Florida State, and Georgia, he has Texas winning with Georgia Tech being running up, and he has Texas being the national champions this year. Of course he does. Michael, how do you see it?
I got in the left side of UCLA, Florida, North Carolina, and Auburn. I have Auburn winning it with North Carolina being the runner-up. I really do like this North Carolina team, but honestly, I think I am obviously SEC biased, and so when you really look at like when it comes to national champions,
It's 8 years in a row, right?
yeah, that. But also, just 9 times out of 10, like in all sports, it is usually the best team from the best conference. And that's happened a lot in basketball as Michigan won this year. Big Ten was the best conference, and Michigan was the best team in the best conference. And so I think that Georgia is going to get it done as they are going to beat Arkansas. Arkansas will be the runner-up. Cinderella's story will end. And it's funny that whole quadrant is SEC team. But, that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I got Georgia winning it in 3 games against Auburn.
Yeah. Man, dude, I think this Auburn team's so good. Let's talk Women's College World Series. Softball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You did.
Okay.
Talk about Cinderella stories. I think the girls from the dogs, the dog girls, we need the dog out of here.
All
right.
I've got it.
Mississippi State winning the quadrant of State, Tennessee, Texas, and Texas Tech. I've got Texas being the runner-up. I have Bama winning the quadrant of Bama, Nebraska, UCLA, and Arkansas. I've got UCLA being the runner-up. Unfortunately, State's Cinderella story comes to an end when they lose to Alabama in the Women's College World Series final. Luke, and we'll wait a second. We're getting the dog out of here. All right. When Michael flips the slide, Luke, how do you see the Women's College World Series going?
So I've got Texas winning their little regional and the runner-up being Texas Tech, strictly because of Jason Williams' daughter. I just thought all that jazz was funny, how she got hit like 6 times in their 2 or 3 games against Florida. So I've got them winning it, and then
He's on Texas Tech.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. And then I'm not picking Alabama. I don't like Alabama that much. So we're going to go with the Cornhuskers. We're going to renew a brand new – they've got the player of the year in softball, by the way. So,
it's been a big year for the Scurs.
yeah, it has. And I think we're going to get a renewed Big 12 rivalry, and Texas is going to end up beating the crap out of Nebraska because Nebraska does not win anything.
All right, and Chase, of course, has Texas winning that region of Texas, Tennessee, Texas Tech, and State. He has Texas Tech as the runner-up. He has Bama winning that quadrant of Bama, Nebraska, UCLA, and Arkansas. He has Arkansas as the runner-up. And imagine that. Chase has Texas winning both the men's and women's College World Series, something that will never happen. Moving on. I have Mikey. How do you have the Women's College World Series?
I I got State coming out of that little 4-quadrant bracket. The Lady
Good
Dogs.
pitching on the Dogs, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Troy transfer, Alyssa Fairclough.
Yes. Shout out her. She threw no hitter. But I also looked up who had the best record in softball, and it's Alabama. They've only lost like 7 times, I
Yeah.
think. So usually the best
best
softball
team.
team wins it all because usually it's also Oklahoma. But
Who
Lady
took out the
Dogs-
trash this
Lady
year, buddy?
Dogs took out Oklahoma this year, which was hype. Also, I'm putting the runner up as Arkansas because they have that girl that has like 40 something home runs this year. Or
Oh,
I
they
know
got
it's actually
another-
more. I think it's like 70
They've
something.
got another one because didn't they just have one? A few years
It's
ago?
some freshman, and she is insane. Like there's clips of she gets walked 3 times, and then they pitch to her 4th at bat, she hits a grand slam. So she's nasty. So, but I got Alabama winning that, State winning that, and Alabama winning it all.
Fine.
All right. Now for our Smith Army 5 top 5 movie franchises. My number 1 undisputed champion is Star Wars. There's nothing better than Star Wars. Disney tried to ruin it, however, still can't be ruined. I mean, you've got spin-off TV shows like The Mandalorian, Star Wars Clone Wars, but just give me the basics, man. The prequels 1 through 6. Just give me 1 through 6. It is I can watch. If I had to choose one thing to watch for the rest of my life, it would be 1 through 6 Star Wars, and I would be completely fine with it. That and sports. Number 2 is Batman. I like to thank my cousin Jake and Michael for putting me on the Batman universe. These movies are so badass. They all different twists and turns. I'm on the edge of my seat every time. I love the Batman movies. Also, shout out to Michael and Luke for putting me on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thought it was kind of some nerd crap. However, these movies are awesome. Civil War's awesome. Endgame's awesome. I mean, I didn't think I would like all these movies. The Star Wars or the Spider-Man movies in there. I just kind of encompassed all of Marvel. I thought it wasn't fair to single out a single one.
Yeah.
I was kind of clowned on for this pick by my brother. Dude, you know who spits out a lot of movies and every single one of them is super quality? Despicable Me and Minions.
King Bob.
Yeah, dude, I've got still that child in me, and I love Despicable Me and Minions. I went and saw the new one when it came out. I mean, like, go to the theater to watch the Despicable Me Minion movies. So they're not number 4. Number 5 is Harry Potter. The reason they're probably so low for me at 5, I have not seen like the last 3 of them. However, I just I read the book. I read the books. But I mean I don't know. It just people are very split on Star Wars and Harry Potter, and I'm very pro Star Wars over that debate. So they're number 5 for me. Those still great movies. Luke, how do you have your top 5 movie franchises?
So Star Wars is the number 1, obviously. All the movies are great. Even the book, shocker. I've read a few of the books when I was in middle school. They have some good books actually. So that's my number 1. Number 2 is the MCU. I think this is kind of 1A, 1B for me. I love the MCU through and through. I've watched basically, I think, every movie outside of maybe one of the Doctor Strange crappy movies that they have had. All the shows are great. All the comics are awesome. I mean, the MCU is so iconic with Doomsday coming out. You got Spider-Man coming out. It's a fever dream. Number 3 is Harry Potter for me. I love all the movies. I also read all the books, so which is also shocking. But I love the Harry Potter so much. I'm super excited for the TV show to come out in Christmas. I think it's actually going to be really good. People are hating on it because everybody just hates J.K. Rowling. I think it's going to be an absolutely great series because they're going to be able to go so much more in depth from the books where they were not able to in the movies. And then Mission Impossible is my number 4. I think Tom Cruise is an absolute GOAT. I mean, the dude broke his leg and still finished the scene like running 100-something yards. I mean, he's an absolute stunt legend. I mean, he has jumped out of helicopters. He's climbed on the planes. He's jumped off mountains on motorcycles. Like, this dude is like the GOAT of stunt, stupid crap you could do in movies. And it is Mission Impossible. Even though they drug it out a whole lot, I mean, the movies are really good. So, and then my number 5 is going to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, solid.
So I love Indiana Jones. Even like the Dial of Destiny wasn't good, but like it wasn't god awful in my opinion. I thought it was all right. I love Indiana Jones. I love Harrison Ford, obviously from Han Solo. So Indiana Jones is going to slide into my number 5.
Chase has it 1 Star Wars, 2 MCU, 3 Harry Potter, 4 John Wick, and then 5 Batman Nolan. He wanted to emphasize Christopher Nolan on the Batman. Michael.
Yeah. First one, number one is obviously Star Wars. Star Wars is the greatest movie franchise of all time. Very legendary, very just amazing. I mean, the first movies were made in the 1970s, and still people still watch them today, and they are just masterpieces. My second,
I am people.
huh?
I am people.
Yes, Will is people. I had tough time between 2 and 3, between MCU and Harry Potter, but I absolutely love Harry Potter. I rewatch all the Harry Potter movies every single year around the Christmas Thanksgiving time, and they're actually every single movie. Like actually, there's not really a bad Harry Potter movie, unlike there are bad Star Wars and MCU movies. But Harry Potter is very good through and throughout, and there's also 8 movies, I think.
Yeah.
There's 8 movies. So yes, they just it's so good. 3 MCU, obviously the biggest movie franchise I would say in just overall how many movies they have. They all of them are just so good. The peaks of the MCU match pretty much anything else with Endgame and Infinity War. And so that's why they're number 3. I was debating putting Batman on this list because I don't really know if Batman's a movie franchise. Like, yes, it's a character franchise, but I mean, I went ahead and went with it just because there's more than 3 Batman movies, which if there's more than 3 movies, that's when I consider it like a franchise. So I'll put Batman on here. Batman's goated. Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, The Batman, The Batman 2 coming out soon, I think next year.
Ooh, I'm stoked.
Oh, it's gonna be great. And then number 5, I went with Transformers. Transformers is awesome. It's just very good action-packed movies.
I've never seen one.
And
Seriously?
uh,
Brother.
the CGI in that time is amazing for the movies. Shout out Michael Bay.
Even though Michael Bay's a really creepy dude.
I will say
Shout out.
honorable mention for me was the Hunger Games. I'm surprised no one had, I really like the Hunger Games movies and books, but and the new one coming out should be good. Anyway,
All right, boys.
best I'm pretty sure I'm gonna turn it over to Michael here.
Luke, don't look
Also-
at this.
I love he keeps clicking like he's controlling the slides.
He does keep clicking. All right, this is what we're doing. We are doing Guess the Year for
brother.
Major Sports Edition. You're going to be given something that happened in this year in each of the 4 major sports, and then you are going to have to guess the year. It's going to be competing between Luke and Will. Y'all are not working together.
Now I'm pretty sure we both. I especially was really shit at the last game we played with the
yes.
producer. Yeah. Okay.
It was literally
Yeah, but I think, like, I tried to make it kind of even. Like,
Yeah, because you threw hockey in there. So
I
appreciate
threw
it.
hockey in there, so some of like, if some of it was like, maybe it was like, if I gave like I think like an NBA Luke would know. I kind of gave like a hockey Will would know, but I think it's gonna be fun. All right,
God.
first one. Guess this year, NFL. Drew Brees led the NFL in passing yards with 4,870 yards. Kristaps Porzingis was the 4th overall pick to the New York Knicks, is your NBA fact. Your MLB fact is the World Series was between the Kansas City Royals and the New York Mets. And your NHL fact was Carey Price won the Hart Memorial Trophy, which is the MVP of the
Who gets to go
NHL.
first?
Just let me know when y'all both have
I think
y'all's
I have an
year
answer.
locked. All right, we're just gonna go Luke, then Will. Luke, what is the year you think it is?
I think it's 2015.
Is that
Yeah,
you?
my pick was 2015.
All right.
Basically got that off the World Series
That's
and
what I did. Yeah.
Harry Price Hart Memorial.
Yeah, I got it off the Tingus Pingus.
Let's see if y'all are right.
Is it 2015?
2015. All right, both have 1 point. All right, next year. Trayvon Walker was the 1st overall pick in the NFL draft. Joel Embiid led
the year.
the NBA with 33.1 points per game. The St. Louis Cardinals won the NL Central with a record of 93-69, and the Stanley Cup Finals was between the Colorado Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
God.
Wait,
2022.
you gotta wait,
Oh.
because he hadn't thought of his year yet,
Oh, I was between 2.
and I'm sure one of them was
2022.
yeah.
I
So
know.
you gotta wait to say it. Well,
Sorry.
the year 2022.
Yeah, it was either 2022 or 2023.
Cup final gave that one away.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember
That
when
one
it
was an easy one for the NHL one, but yeah, you gotta hold your answer to.
Sorry, guys. I want to get the. Hey, we
I'll give him a
we'll
point.
we both scored. No,
Yeah,
we
both
both scored.
All right,
All right.
all right. Next year, we got 5, by the way, 5 of these.
All right, 2-2.
All right, next
Well,
year,
that'd be that. That'd be.
Okay.
Come on now.
the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Wait.
The NBA Finals was the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. Giancarlo Stanton won the NL MVP, and then Connor McDavid led the regular season in points. What year was this?
Oh man, this is screwing me because the top two were in so many succession in
Correct.
all of these
That's why.
years.
And also, Connor McDavid has led the NHL in a lot of years.
I know.
points.
I know. I have an answer.
I have an answer.
All right, Luke,
2018.
Will.
2017.
The correct answer. 2017.
I was between those two. I mean,
All right.
that was a good one. That was
Yeah.
that was tough. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest with you. The Stanton in the Marlins
Yeah.
jersey was the hit.
I thought
Yeah.
that was a
Because,
year off.
in the NBA Finals, it could have been 2016.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it could have been
And
2016,
2015.
2017,
Yeah.
or I think 2018.
Yeah. Or 2018, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so 2017 was the correct year. Will takes the lead 3-2. All right. Guess of the year. The Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos had the
Oh,
top
know
records
that.
in the regular season.
I know.
The San Antonio Spurs were the 1 seed in the West. Chris Bryant was the 2nd overall pick to the Chicago Cubs, and the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup.
I think I know this.
All right, Luke,
Will?
what was the year?
I think it's 2012.
Will?
My answer was also 2012.
The correct answer, 2013.
Oh,
These are tough because I'm like between 2 years.
I was flipping actually between 2012 and 2014. So,
Really?
yes.
Yeah. I kind of think the giveaway on this one probably would have been the Seahawks Broncos
That, I was
Super
trying to
Bowl.
remember what year, but
They
I
played the
also
Super
knew
Bowl
the
2
Blackhawks.
times.
I remember the Blackhawks.
And
Yeah,
here we go.
Man, I thought he got drafted in 2012.
Yeah. All right. Final one. Will is up 3-2. Cam Luke tie it up. This year,
Oh, brother.
Kevin O'Connell won Coach
know
of the
this
Year
year.
in the
I know.
NFL. Rudy Gobert was Defensive Player of the Year. The ALCS was between the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees. And the New York Rangers led the NHL regular season with 114 points.
I have an answer.
Luke,
I have it.
what is the year?
I think it's 2024.
It is
Will.
24.
Yeah, 'cause I do
2024?
know the Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers
The
led them.
Rangers
Yes,
led it.
they
It's like-
led them.
yeah.
I remember hating Miller a lot this year. It was 2024.
I actually saw something.
2024 is the correct answer. Will, nice job winning it. 4 out of 5. Luke with 3 out of 5. Both did very well. Both of
very
y'all were
last
off
time.
by 1 year if you got it wrong. So, yeah, good job, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
only reason I remember that last one is because MSG is actually a publicly traded. You can trade stock on both sports teams. So when it goes up, both teams are winning. If the stock goes up,
Yeah.
so they're trying to divide the Rangers and the Knicks because the Rangers have been sucking so much to take the stock. And I saw the last time it was.
Well, there have been years where the Rangers have been
Well, I
up, and
know
then
for the last 2 years though, what the Knicks have been, and like the last time. Anyways, I saw this on TikTok literally like 3 hours ago.
that's nuts.
So yeah.
That's crazy. It's hilarious. But, yeah, good job, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Best things happened this weekend.
So we went to the beach. The beach was awesome. Me, Mikey, the parents, and Kara. No sister or Chloe due to, I guess, both technically work-related reasons. But it was very enjoyable. Got a nice little sunburn on the cloudiest day of the entire trip. That there was a tornado warning. Stayed out on the beach throughout the tornado. No regard for human life at that moment. Especially my own. Just the beach trip was always awesome, especially with my extended family also being there, games played. Brings me to number 2, beach food. Let me just speak some gospel to y'all real quick. Chicken nachos from Shades. Our God tier. God tier. Krabby Steve's, either the Cuban wrap or the crab cake sandwich. God tier. What is Florida? Old Florida Fish House. The steak frites there were unbelievable. It was chef's kiss. The Wagyu my father ordered, absolutely God tier. It was good. It was a little raw, but it was good. Anyway, beach food always undefeated. Dude, shout out Bayou Bills for a couple pounds of crab legs there. That was undefeated as well. And then the SEC baseball tournament. It's a yearly tradition for me, my brother and my dad to go to the SEC baseball tournament. My brother did not make it this year. He went on a beach trip with Kara. That's fine. Whatever. However, it was 2 amazing days of baseball and golf. So it kind of encompasses all the same trip. We went and played River Chase Country Club in Hoover the morning of. I shot a damn good round, had 2 back-to-back birdies. And we then went and caught the session 2 of the SEC baseball tournament. We got to see South Carolina, maybe the worst baseball team I've ever laid my eyes on. They played Tennessee. The Vols won. And then we got to see an awesome nightcap game between LSU and Oklahoma where LSU won, which took us to day 2. We got up early, watched the Bulldogs of Mississippi State beat down on Missouri, watched Florida beat Vandy, watched the SEC Pitcher of the Year pitch, came back in the afternoon, saw Arkansas absolutely rake against Tennessee. And then we saw an awesome game between Auburn and LSU that went down on the wire. Rain started falling in the bottom of the 9th, or top of the 9th. It was awesome. Also, hearing a lot of people. I mean, it was the largest Wednesday crowd in SEC tournament history, 4th largest crowd all time. A lot of Auburn fans. The War Eagle they hit after the home run was pretty electric. So that are the best things that happened this weekend for me. For Chase, it was Atlanta. Atlanta again with more exclamation points, and then Georgia Tech. Luke, what happened this weekend?
Yeah, so I'm technically not out of school, but I've got to go Thursday and then I'm done. So I've officially graduated my first year of trade school. I've only got 3 more. Yeah, so I passed my DC theory test, which I haven't been that nervous since I played football in high school, before a game. I literally peed 6 times in an hour before the test. I was freaking out. I got an 82. I was pretty pumped. It's the hardest lesson we were going to do this year. So pretty stoked. And then the whole reason I don't have to go next week is because of the second thing. I donated blood, which, fun fact, the chick who was taking my blood lived 1 street over from me when I was little.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was just really coincidental. But obviously didn't know each other or nothing, but she just lived a street over. So I donated blood today. Felt good to just, I guess, do something good for once. And Inspire Noir dropped on Prime. I'm pretty stoked. And apparently Nicolas Cage does a fantastic job. So I'm going to go watch an episode whenever I get home. So those are my top 3 things.
Shout out.
Sneaky.
Noir. That's going to be good. All right. My best things I have this weekend is officially summertime. Super happy that done with school, and that coincides with the beach. Going to the beach was great. I was there for a pretty long time, more than a week, so it was great to just finally relax. And then being home, I'm glad being home for this summer. It's nice. I do love Starkville, and just it is really fun college. But yeah, I'm glad to be home for this summer and just hang out, play golf, do a bunch of stuff.
Get a job.
Probably not, but this is my job. But
speaking of sponsors out there, if you're listening, interested, reach out to us on DM on Instagram or TikTok. Just weekly announcement.
Shout out Luke.
Hey, brother. I don't got money.
That'll conclude episode 64 of Swiss Army Sports. This has been Will, Luke, and the producer, Big Mike. Until next time, we haven't really decided when next time is yet. It could be next Monday. It could be Friday. Just trying to make sure if we do record again, there's enough stuff to cover. Basically, the only thing we'd cover is NASCAR. I would like to take a moment to do a little moment of silence here. We lost a legend in the NASCAR community this past weekend. Came to absolute shock to me. I was never a big NBA guy, so when Kobe died, I was shocked and upset. I mean, but it wasn't like this. This was kind of my Kobe. Kyle Busch, man, he absolute legend in NASCAR. Passed away this weekend from complications from double pneumonia that turned into sepsis. If you're not feeling well, guys, go to the doctor. Don't try to power through it. But yeah, shout out Kyle Busch. And on that somber note, we will now end episode 64 of Swiss Army Sports. Until next time.
Hold up, little buddy, what is you doing? Finna go hard, hard, hard. Ice on my neck, ice on my wrist. That for the squad, squad, squad. Know they gon' hate, do what I tell them. Get on your jaw, jaw, jaw. Work on smooth, I got the moves. I swear to God, God, God. Hey, I just dropped 200.